You read the title, you saw the thumbnail, and you clicked on the video. I just got my hands on the most expensive, freshly printed street photography book out there. Sure, there's crazier prices on the resale market, but this one is straight from the press, crisp, untouched, and dripping with exclusivity. The moment of truth has arrived. I'm about to slice through the packaging, crack it open, and dive into every page. Is it worth the hype? Wait till you find out the price. So this book right here is from my friend Paul Kessel. You might know him from my documentary Feel the Frame, which if you haven't heard is free on my YouTube channel. I'll have the link to the film in the description box down below. So watch that documentary right after this video. Or maybe you know him as the 2020-2021 champion of countless photography contests, thanks to his legendary shot Q Train. Well, big news, Paul just dropped his first ever published book. Congratulations! It's a collaboration with Snap Collective, a publishing company which was founded in 2020 based in Copenhagen, Denmark. They help photographers and artists bring their work to life without any financial barriers. Sounds like a good deal to me. They're all about making high quality art books accessible while giving artists complete creative freedom. And now, Paul's vision is officially in print. Before I tear into this book, let's set the stage. I'm not just reviewing the quality of the book and its hefty price tag. I'm diving deeper. We're peeling back the curtain on the publishing world today, breaking down the kind of deal Snap Collective offers its artists, and seeing how it stacks up against self-publishing. Did Paul strike gold with this deal, or would he have been better going off solo? So you must be wondering, how expensive is this book? Well, I'll just cut straight to the chase. The book was 169 euros. That is with shipping. Oh my god! Book is 129 euros and the shipping was 40 euros, which comes out to about $182 USD is what I paid for this book. So I am hoping that there is a gold chain or some diamond bracelets that's in this package as well. Very well packaged.
1 hour later.
Ta-da! Alright, it's a nice weight. A good 5 pounds. Enough of the drama. Okay, it's double packaged. It's sealed. Hey, not bad. I believe there has to be a minimum. If you sign up to collaborate with him, it has to have a minimum of 100 images. This one has more though, I think. I think there's over 100 images in this one. This is one of the more expensive books on their site, the Snap Collective website. You know what, given the price tag, I was curious from the start what margin that Snap Collective was working off of. Okay, no damages at all. Which brings me to my next point with Paul. To add some context to this overall video, Paul is 87.5 years old. He turns 88 in September, and it's kind of one of his final check marks in his street photography journey, kind of feather in the cap that he would like to have while he's still around, is to have a book of his images published. He's done the self-publishing route years ago, but definitely working with a legit publishing company and have his work put together is something that he's been longing for. And does Paul deserve a book? Most definitely. He has many good images, and his legendary shot Q Train has been felt all around the world. So when he was approached and this opportunity came, although there was some hesitations just because of the price tag, it was hard to turn down given Paul's situation. So yeah, let's just tear this open and let's see what this is all about. Is it $182 worthy? I don't know. I am still haven't seen any gold or Bitcoin attached to his book. Damn, this is tight. Oh my god. Okay.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
You gotta smell it, you know? You gotta smell this thing. So Snap Collective handled the design and layout of it, and of course Paul would have final approval. I was quite surprised that they chose this as the cover image. I've never seen this photo of his before. So the title is Look, 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 because of basically from the book, or from the bag right here. Now, from what I understand, from what I've been told in the publishing world, you don't always have to put your best image on the cover. You usually put the image where people can see it and they will want to buy it, like it entices them to buy it. But this one was an interesting selection for a main cover. It does sum up Paul's overall work, if you are familiar with his body of work, but I think there was other options, stronger options that could have been selected, but maybe this photo helped kill two birds with one stone tone. It gave them the cover and then the title of the book. I'm not sure. And not to add more salt to the wound, but the image is a little bit underwhelming for a cover image in my opinion. Sorry, I'm just being honest here. I think he just wanted to speedy up and make the book and get it out there to people. So I don't blame him. Let's just look into this real quick. Introduction. This book is dedicated to my daughter Erica and her 2 children, Elise, Luis, and Marin. Okay. I was expecting my name in there somewhere, but guess not. Okay, right away, just within the first couple pages after introduction, I noticed it right away. Is this normal? Okay, so left image on the left and blank on the right here. So image on the left, blank on the right, which is, I don't think that's, if correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think that's common. I'm familiar seeing image on the right, blank on the left. But if I'm mistaken, please let me know. And then the second image is the same thing. Left image, right blank. A bit of an eyesore to have it lay out this way. See, so this is something more, it's just probably something I'm just used to looking at, where seeing the images on the right, blank on the left. But I was just looking at Alex Webb's book the other day, The Suffering of Light. 2 pages full, or image on the right, blank on the left. Okay, the quality of the print here, yeah, it looks good. And the quality of the papers, I like it. It's nice and sturdy. But really, certain images, like this one right here, you can really tell where he did, you know, he brushed up their faces and whatnot. The digital touch-ups, which is fine, I think. I mean, I don't have a problem with that, but I'm just saying. So about 180 images total. Just scrolling through the first half of this, I think the sequencing was done really well. And definitely his photos, the vibrancy, all shot in color, it really comes out. Paper quality is nice. I mean, $182 though, I mean, yeah, what margin is Snap Collective working off of? I mean, that right there just strikes me right away, where you could have brought the price tag down by just using less images. Snap requires 100 images for their book, so you could have went 100 images, and the lowest price tag I saw on their site was 89 euros. So I think that would have been the route to go. Seemed like Paul wanted to squeeze in every photo from his catalog into this book, which, if it was me, I would have ran this as like the guinea pig test, just to see how much interest there is out there amongst his followers, and use half the amount of images and run it at 89 euros. Because then 89 euros plus the 40 euros, you have 129 euros. So it's still expensive. But yeah, because it's full on almost 200 images, I guess the price, that's why it is what it is for them. Which brings me to my next point. You know, the deeper I dive into Snap Collective, the less surprised I am. I mean, honestly, this is what I expected. Nothing on their site is below 89 euros, and that's excluding shipping. Snap is apparently known to be this highly luxurious publishing company, and I get it. There is a market for everyone, from apparel to luxury cars to jewelry to gourmet food. But for books, I'm not quite sure about that one. According to the RCA website, the Royal College of Art, in March 2025, Snap Collective collaborated with 80 new artists to launch their art books to the moon as part of the Lunar Codex project. This initiative was aimed to preserve art and culture for future generations. Yes, I am aware they've been making a big push starting from the end of last year to gather all artists from different genres of photography to publish their works through books. They have many genres: architecture, fashion, street photography, nature, and nude, to name a few. In the street photography category, they currently have 28 books there. It's currently live on their site right now and ready to be bought. So you may be wondering what the pros and cons are with collaborating with a publishing company like Snap Collective. Well, you're in luck, because I'm going to break it down to you and share a little bit of insight within the publishing world on how challenging it may be. Okay, let's just start with the pros. Snap Collective does not demand any upfront costs. Snap Collective handles the cost of production, so artists don't don't have to invest money up front to publish their book. This removes the financial barrier for many. In the publishing world, you usually need to cough up a good amount of money to just cover the basis of production. I have a street photography friend who's had his books published and was approached by another publishing company to publish a third book. He shared some insights with me, so I'm gonna, well, not read it word for word, but just paraphrase it here for you, just so you can kind of have an idea and at the end compare the two apples. So one publishing company demanded $6,000 upfront, then they would get grants and run a Kickstarter for another $25,000. Imagine that. This is a good real publisher too, not a self-publisher or a vanity press. The owner told me that no one basically just published a book anymore without financing plan in place. You also have to take into consideration planning for events, publicity, exhibits, and signings, and have a strong social media presence, or things like Kickstarter won't work. You just hear the demand for that, asking for $6,000 out of pocket and then trying to succeed $25,000 from Kickstarter, and then all the marketing, all the things that you gotta do the heavy lifting yourself. That sounds like a lot of work. The thing is, they didn't mention how many prints or how many books they would have printed for this campaign if they would have went through. Okay, the next one is a second publisher maybe would publish my new work. They didn't ask for any upfront money, but would only pay me 2% of net sales. So basically nothing in their eyes. They would take my work and the rights to it, which is something that you don't want to give up, and maybe send me a check for $500 someday. From my experience and where the world is at today, the best option is to self-publish a small run of nice books and sell directly to your followers. So you just got some insights there to the brutality of the publishing world. So let's continue with the pros on the collaboration with Snap Collective. So high quality production, specializing in high quality, eco-friendly art books. You'll get a beautifully printed book that showcases your work in a best possible way. I did notice on their website, some of the books kind of look the same. Like it almost looks cookie cutter and they just replaced the main image. Paul's one is different because it's horizontal. A lot of the vertical books, vertical format layout, it kind of looks the same, but I wouldn't really be able to tell you unless I had it in my hands. But just from the optics, just from looking at it on the site, it kind of looks the same. Third, creative control. Artists retain full creative control over their projects, meaning your visions stay intact from layout to design. Number 4, professional support. They provide assistance with the publishing process, including editing, design, and production. This support can save time and effort for the artists who may not have the experience or resources to handle these aspects themselves. Number 5, global distribution. Snap Collective handles the logistics of it. They have an entire setup on their site via Shopify, and they can ship your book worldwide, reaching an international audience with minimal effort. Number 6, print on demand. Snap Collective uses a print on demand model, so you don't have to worry about unsold inventory or overproduction. This has become more common or more popular in publishing world today, because one of my pet peeves is to actually handle logistics of things where the books get shipped to my address, and then every time somebody buys it, I gotta physically go to the post office and ship the book. I really want it to be hands off. I think this is a real benefit where Snap Collective handles the inventory, they print on demand, and then they just ship it as people buy them. However, this print on demand model isn't perfect either. I really saw no urgency or no marketing from Snap Collective at all. I mean, I honestly wouldn't know who Snap Collective is if Paul didn't post about this collaboration with them. But with the print on demand, there's no urgency. Like, for example, iMagazine has been collaborating with numerous street photographers to print their work in book form. And the big difference with iMagazine and Snap Collective, there was urgency. Order by March 31st, because they're not going to keep printing these. If you don't get your order in by the 31st of March, then that's kind of too late. You're going to have to buy secondhand from somebody. With Snap Collective, it's kind of always there on their site, or as however long they want it there, live. So there's no urgency for me to buy the book now. Like, I can buy it next year or next month or whenever they put a sale on. It doesn't make the book feel any special in any way. Whereas iMagazine Magazine there's a cutoff date. There's only a limited supply, as is what they're saying, and it makes me want to get my orders in before it's too late. I also seen a lot of sponsored posts or a lot of tags from Magazine with its photographers, whereas Snap Collective, I didn't see much at all, any sponsored posts, sponsored ads, or any social tags with Paul for this collaboration. But maybe Paul did tag and he just missed it and he didn't repost it or reshare it, because he is 87 and a half years old and there are some technological limitations on his behalf. Okay, so we did the pros for Snap Collective. Let's go to the cons for Snap Collective. Limited marketing support. I just touched base on this. While they help you launch the book, artists are typically responsible for their own marketing and promotion. If you're not good at self-promotion, if you don't have a big social following, this is going to be a big hurdle for you. Because like I mentioned earlier, I did not see any sponsored ads from Snap Collective. I didn't see any posts about this. And if you're just relying on the artist to promote their book with its hefty price tag of $182 USD, yeah, that's a steep mountain to climb. Okay, because at the end of the day, like, who wins all of this? You have the publisher, you have the artist, and you have the audience. Okay, the main objective here is to get the books out, to share the work of the artist, to get in the hands of the followers or the fans. The publisher, if they're not selling the books, they're not making any money. And if the books aren't getting out, work isn't getting shared for the artist, they lose out. The artists lose out because they have this book that's just not being sold, not being viewed by anybody. And then the audience that wants the work, that wants the book in their hands, that likes Paul's work, unable to pay that price tag or unwilling to, so they don't get a chance to see the book unless they took out a second mortgage. Nobody wins in this situation when you have such a high price tag on a book. Okay, I might have jumped around there, but let's go to number 2, profit sharing. So I don't know if this is accurate with all the artists that they sign up with, or they negotiate specific details with each individual one, or is this just a cookie cutter across the board, everybody gets the same deal? Snap Collective takes a portion of the profit from book sales, so artists don't receive full revenue from their work. This may feel like a downside compared to self-publishing, where you keep more of the earnings. You would think most situations you would get some kind of royalty, but surprisingly in the publishing world, depending on the situation, depending the amount of books being sold and printed, royalties from each sold book is not realistic. Just like the 2 examples that I shared from my friend, how demanding and rigorous the publishing companies are expecting from the artists. So from what I've been told, the book has sold about 5-ish on its own. So one of them's here, and the additional 25 Paul purchased, I believe, close to full price.
Plus the shipping.
Those are, he's selling it at a loss to give to his close friends and colleagues. So just from sharing and analyzing the pros and cons of Snap Collective, they seem more of like a facilitator than a collab partner. So perhaps you may not initially have to cough up a hefty price tag to get the ball rolling, but the support to get the word out there, marketing, is not much all there to begin with. I mean, on the back end side, they have a whole system set up with Shopify where they can, you know, design the book, lay it out, and set up for sale on their Shopify site. But you can do that on other self-publishing books already, like Blurb, or most recently that I discovered, Mixum, whose book right here from Jill McGuire is a good quality here. This was $22. Definitely less pages than Paul's book, about a third of the imagery here. But with Mixum, this is not a sponsored post or anything, but with Mixum you can lay it out, design it, and then it can be print on demand where they can handle the inventory. They don't have to ship you a minimum amount to your house and then you handle the shipping orders. So I'm just saying this because there's other alternatives. So is this book worth the price tag? No, of course not. However, is the quality of the book good? Yes. The print is nice, the colors are nice, the pages, I like how it's more sturdy than most, and it is a solid, clean book. It didn't come in wrinkle, damage, or anything. I think if this was in the $75 range, maybe even the $100 range, I think then it would sell. But anything over $100, good luck. So what do you guys think? Would you guys be purchasing Look by Paul Kessel and a collaboration with Snap Collective? If you were in negotiation with Snap Collective, what kind of questions would you ask? Or do you think it's better to go the solo route and self-publish yourself? I have the link to Paul's book in the description box down below. And if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell as well, so every time I post new content or video, you'll be notified. Until next time, keep shooting and stay safe.